Hey guys, it's a beautiful day in the North Maine woods. Starting out today at my favorite little spot. And what I'm going to do today is cross here and I'm going to walk through the woods on the other side just a little bit. See if I can't find some mushrooms. It rained and has been pretty warm, so that's pretty ideal for mushrooms. We're going to see if we can find any. We've got some chaga there, but that is not what we're after. I'm hoping to find some chanterelles. And I know they grow here. I've seen them, so we'll see. You can see all this colt's foot leaves. Now the leaves come up after the flower dies back, and they are the yellow flower that comes out that looks almost like a dandelion in the beginning of the season or the springtime. So I'm going to try to stay relatively dry for a little while, just because once you get wet, it tends to drag you a little more with wet clothes and wet feet. So I like to stay as dry as possible. So I'm going to utilize this log here to cross. You can see just how beautiful this spot is. And even though we've had a lot of dry days with little rain, this pool stays pretty well filled. And let me see if I can get out of the sunbeam so you can see it better. The depth of the pool is about up to your waist in the middle here, so it is still pretty nice. There, the sun just went down a little bit. All right, let's poke around the woods and see what we can find. I have walked up and down this brook before, so I have an idea of where to cross. The footing isn't that great once you get down here a ways, so it's nicer to cross on the other side, but for right now, it's not too bad to be on this side. So right away I see an older bottle. And it's not super old, but it's not very new either. So that's kind of neat to see right away. Up here, there's a small kind of offshoot of the brook. And I have found some enamel ware down there. You can see a caterpillar is stuck in a spider web. I'm sure I will be covered in spider webs by the end of the day. Where are all the mushrooms? Should be getting into them soon. You can see this area here is pretty difficult walking. You've got a lot of down trees, so we're going to come in a little closer to the brook. And this is just on the other side of my little pool there. You can see, if you look really closely, you can see my car shining up there on the hill. So we're not too far from my car at this point. And the distance that I'm going to walk at the maximum is a mile through the woods. So I'm not going to get too far away from my car at all. So I'm starting to see some mushrooms. This is promising. So I'll show you the little group up here. See those guys? So that's nice to see. A nice little pool right here. It's about a foot and a half deep. This brook is so magical to me, and I'm so grateful that I've never seen anybody out here. Selfish as that may seem, it is so nice to come out here and just relax. To not see anybody, to not hear anybody. It is one of my favorite places that I have found since I moved here. I have a lot of really nice places that I love in the North Maine woods, but this is unbelievable. It's a really magical feeling being out here. I have fished this brook. It was earlier more toward the spring, and the waters were quite a bit higher than they are now. There are a lot of brook trout, but they're about 6 inches, give or take, so they're not too big. Not any real nice keepers coming out of here, but it's fun. I want to walk over here, but I think I'm going to walk out this way real quick just to see if I can find some more enamel, because this is where I found it. And I can see a container, parts of a container, what looks like oil. Because I can see the word oil right here. Beautiful woods, really nice and mossy. A lot of cedar trees, which are beautiful. There's a piece of glass right there. So today I was contemplating what I should wear. I knew I would be getting my feet wet, so I contemplated wearing my boots, and then realized that it's going to be so warm. I don't want to be clanking around in my boots. They get really hot. So I was then going to wear my water shoes, and my water shoes are kind of like Crocs, so they slip on and off, and I didn't want to risk them slipping off because it's kind of dangerous. So I opted to wear my Zero shoes. They're actually a men's style, but really easy to just dry. You can take the insole out and they dry really super quick. So I figured that would be the best option. A lot of cedar berries or cedar seeds floating around that I've noticed. See down here, so we must have had a pretty good windstorm rip through here. You can see them all on the ground over there. Love this brook so much. I know I keep saying that, but really, really clean water. It's not slimy. It's just perfect. There's a really nice deep pool right there. That would go definitely up to your waist. Trying to figure out the best way to get around to this little fall is whether I should cross here, or I think I'm just going to continue on this side. I just have to go out and around a little bit. can see where the squirrels have been eating the piles of the seeds that have fallen. They're definitely having some meals. I didn't realize that they ate the cedar pine cones or the cedar cones, but I guess they do. You see the remnants right there. So definitely eating them. You can see this little part of the brook is all completely dried up. It's crazy. Crazy to see. We are very lucky to still have some water flowing because it has been very, very dry. I'm going to walk toward the brook here. Mosquitoes aren't too bad. I just had a couple bite me, but they're not too bad. There's another nice deep pool, but it has a lot of sticks in the way. You'd have to clean it up a bit. There's another nice pool over there. So I think we're going to go down here and cross. Nice piece of quartz here. I don't see any really nice crystals in there, but nice piece of quartz. Let's see, I think I'm going to go this way. All these little pools, you can pull out a small brook trout, but I don't like fishing for the small ones just because a lot of times they'll swallow the hook, even if you use a small hook. So I'd rather not fish the brooks for the little guys. I was just going to check out this mud flat to see if I could find any tracks in it. I see what looks like it was a moose, but it's been a while. Just walked into a big spider web. Oh, Nelly. Oh, that it covered my whole face. Ooh, that was gross. Yucky. You can see some older tracks there. Not much for mushrooms. It's so sad. Oh, I see a fish swimming around in here. He got stuck. Aw. Sucks. Can you see him? That's a trout. Little baby trout stuck in this pool. That's too bad. There's a piece of something over here. Looks like an old enamel pot or kettle, maybe. Looks like a kettle because there's a spout. I should cross here, but for some reason I'm going to keep going. So I know it gets thick in here. But maybe there's something I just have to see. Another nice thing is the brook isn't too loud. So sometimes if you go down a river that's loud and rushing, it's not as relaxing. This one is just perfect. Look at this little spot. Sit on the edge of the rock and dip your toes in the water. Have your lunch. There's another beachy area down here somewhere. I think it's past the fall that's just up ahead. Look at this nice pool. It's pretty deep in there too. I love cedar trees. There's a squirrel over here. Hi! What are you doing? Oh, Chippy! You can see what I mean about walking through certain areas. It's just almost impassable. So we're gonna probably hop over so that we can get to the bottom of this waterfall up here. I'm just trying to figure out where. So I want to cross here. I think we'll cross here. It seems like the best choice. Now I'm getting over into the squirrel's territory. He's threatened. Oh, you're fine, little buddy. What a pretty spot. Alright, see if I can't weave my way through here. Alright, made it across. One thing you can do if you get to the end of this brook and you feel like you don't want to walk anymore, you can just walk up the road. We're not going to try to cross over this mumbly jumbly stuff. So let's go down here. You have to be careful when you see laced logs like that because you never know what's solid and what's not. There we go. That's better. See, if you see the opening up here, that's the main road. Still really not seeing a lot of mushrooms. Oh well. I want to get back down towards the brook there. So just trying to find the best way. Looks like once we get after this little waterfall here, we should be all set. This one's got a really nice pool in it. You can see how nice and clean and deep that water is. Alright, I think I'm going to do some river walking. It's getting a little steep on this side and a little thick through here. So I'm just going to tie my shoe. It actually came undone. And we're going to get walking in the river. Alright. Oh, that feels good on the feet. That feels really good. And the nice thing about the Zero shoes is it's not going to add too much weight. Like if you had a sneaker on, it would be so much more weight and it would be very, very uncomfortable to walk in. These, they aren't like that. It's very nice. So my whole thing with these Zero shoes, I rarely ever wear them. Hard surfaces, I find that it's, because there's no cushion, it's really hard on your feet. So I enjoy wearing them if I'm in like a grassy area or, you know, a place that's not so tough. But for the most part, I don't really like them. However, times like this, it's handy because they are light and they're not gonna, let's see how deep this is. Up to my knees. They're just nice for something like this. They dry really easily. Look at how beautiful and magical this place is. So the main road is right up there. You can see the clearing as this brook follows basically alongside the road. I think I'm going to hop up a little bit. Do I want to hop up over there or up over here? I don't know. We'll try over here first. Something's been up here eating crayfish. You can see some crayfish bodies there. That is a nice pool right here. Check that out. It's pretty deep in there. That would definitely go up to your waist. So with the pool right in front, there's probably I would say a 6 to 7 inch brook trout hanging out in there. It's a nice little pool for him and it's still really cool water. Oh, I see the enamel pot that I found the last time. I'll show you guys that. So there was either a town dump up this way, or these are remnants from homesteads, which I'm not sure. But you can see that nice large enamel pot. I almost brought it home, but there were just too many holes in it. It didn't seem like a good idea. It's getting pretty thick in here, so we're going to cross and go to the other side. I'm going to walk around this spot for a little bit. There's a little raccoon footprint there. I always liked walking around sandbars like this, or pebble bars, I guess, if you will. It's like a treasure hunt to me. I don't know why. See if we can get to the last really nice spot over here. Getting a little thick, but I wouldn't be worried about it if I was in pants, but I'm in a dress, so it gets a little scratchy. A nice pool down there. There we go. So this feeds into Red River, for those of you who are curious. And this is the last little magical spot I wanted to show you. It's very different than last time. It wasn't as dry, so I couldn't walk on this side, which is kind of cool. Oh, it looks like there's some tracks over on the other side over there. Pretty fresh. I don't know if I can see them from here. No, it might just be rocks, just the way that they're laid on the ground there. So earlier today, I made another video. I ended up going out and harvesting some hops and some wild apples. I was checking on the hawthorn, but the hawthorn isn't quite ready yet. I can feel myself warming up, so I kind of want to just walk on the brook. You can see the road is pretty much right there. There's a hawk right above me. Ooh, I just almost lost my foot. In the mud and the crud. See an old bottle, jar, not too old, but there's a tin over here. You never know who left those. Ooh, this is getting really muddy. I am going to walk the brook because it's getting really muddy. There's a big piece of glass there. Looks like to an old jug. All right, we're hitting the brook. Oh, look, mushrooms! Holy shoot, there's freaking mushrooms. I forget what this one's called. I want to say staghorn, but I am probably wrong, so don't quote me. But we found some mushrooms, guys. Holy cows. All right. Gotta get in the brook here and walk up the brook. Hey, if I find some crayfish, I will take them home. They are so good. I made a meal out of those one day. Hanging out in the woods, and I found a spot where there was a bunch of crayfish. And I certainly got as many as I could, which was about 5. So it didn't make for a big meal, but it was still really nice. Alright guys, I'm going to make my way back. Thanks so much for joining me. It was a beautiful day. And I'm so glad that I got a chance to get out in the woods. Take care, guys.